Hey, welcome to an episode of Chad's Beer Reviews. Continuing with the BJCP style guidelines, we are now on style 24B, Belgian Pale Ale. Overall impression? Man, this is long for an overall impression. A moderately malty, somewhat fruity, easy drinking, copper colored Belgian ale that is somewhat less aggressive in flavor profile than many other Belgian beers. The malt character tends to be a bit biscuity with light, toasty, honey-like, or caramelly components. The fruit character is noticeable and complementary to the malt. The bitterness level is generally moderate, but may not seem as high due to the flavorful malt profile. And for the example of the style I got, is probably one of the most famous examples that you might not know is Palm, or Palm Spéciale as it's called in Europe. They just call it Palm for the American release. And it's interesting they call it Belgian Amber Ale, but and as we'll get to here, is that actually Belgian pale ales tend to be more amber or copper colored than anything else. All right, so let's check the comments, history, all that stuff. So comments, they say, it's basically Belgian session beer, not very strong beer. Yeast character, generally more subtle than many Belgian beers, with some of the fruitiness being hop driven. History, you can pause and read that if you want. Character ingredients, Pilsner or Pale Ale malt contributes to the bulk of the grist, with Caravana and Munich malts adding color, body, and complexity. They don't tend to use sugar because they tend to be low gravity, low alcohol beers. Saz hops, steering goldings, East Kent goldings, or fungals are commonly used, which I think they do use East Kent goldings in here. Yeast prone to moderate production of phenols are often used, but fermentation temperatures should be kept to moderate to limit this character. So basically, like what they said on comments and all that stuff, is that it's not a super like Belgian-y estery bomb. Like any kind of your Trappist beers or just anything that's like a Belgian beer, like you smell it and like you immediately know like that's Belgian yeast. But with the Belgian Pale Ale, it's a little bit more like kind of English in style. In fact, that's what it said right here. Style comparison. Fairly similar to pale ales from England. Typically a slightly different yeast character and more varied malt profile. Less yeast character than many other Belgian beers. So look at our vitals. 20-30 IBUs, not super hoppy, but for not an American style of beer, I guess that is pretty solid. It's SRM 8 to 14. Like 8 is like even 8 is actually pretty dark already for supposedly a pale ale. I think they should change the name of this style. All right, so let's dive into the Palm here, beginning with the aroma. Well, I'm getting like kind of that kind of English like ESB type malt characters, like the toasty kind of malt, caramel kind of biscuit that just like a slight toasty caramel. It's like fruity kind of thing, almost like orange marmalade. I will say I am noticing that even though this is a brown bottle, it's a very light brown bottle. I am getting like a little bit of skunk on here. And I'm also getting some oxidation, which I assume is oxidation because like a little bit of like a honey kind of thing on here. Let's check the specs on aroma. Aroma, moderate malt aroma, all right, true, which can be a combination of toasty, biscuity, or nutty, possibly with a touch of light caramel or honey. All right, so yeah, I would totally agree with that as far as the malt description. Moderate to moderately high fruitiness with an orange or pear-like character. Yeah, true. Probably say about moderate, moderately low. Low to moderate strength hop character, spicy, herbal, or floral, optionally blended with background level peppery, spicy phenols. I forgot to mention that. There really isn't much in the way of hops here. Maybe just like a little bit of floral. I am not getting anything spicy. I think they said they use East Kent Golding, so it wouldn't be Sav's, spicy kind of thing on there. So I mean, low, yeah, okay, so it's within the guidelines there. And nothing, I'm not getting any yeast esters or phenols on here. I mean, like, smelling this, and I'm not smelling like any, that classic Belgian, yeast character. The hop character is lower balanced than the malt and fruitiness. True, I agree with that. All right, so despite it being oxidized and a little light struck, it's actually really on point for the style. I think it's 10. I feel like I should, and I feel like that's being a little high because it's a little skunky and old, but I mean, it's still really there. All right, so appearance, well, obviously a copper amber color. What have we got on our SRM here? It's actually really clear, so maybe 9 to 13, maybe. It's, so I don't know how this looks on camera. It's actually beautiful, kind of coppery orange kind of thing. And it had about a thumb width of head there, and looks like it's going to stick around. So good looking beer. Specs on appearance: amber to copper in color. True. Clarity is very good. True. Creamy, rocky, white head often fades more quickly than other Belgian beers. All right, well, I hate it when heads fade, but it says that that's okay. So Full 3 out of 3 on appearance there. I see no reason. I see no reason not to. Do you? Let me know. All right, so let's give it a taste here. Cheers. You know, you've given this to me blind. I might mistake this for like an ESB or some kind of British style beer. It's got a lot of the same things going on there. That kind of toasty malt, a little bit of caramel, a bit of biscuit, a little bit of orange marmalade. I will say that now that I'm drinking it, I can definitely tell it's oxidized. So it is quite malty. I think whatever hops were there, you know, it's not a super strong beer to begin with, but the hops are really faded. So I'm not getting anything overtly spicy. Whatever hops are here they're kind of more in like the floral kind of range, and they're just kind of, you know, deep down here. And they complement the sweetness from the malt. Yeah, so bitterness is quite low on here, but it's enough that I'm noticing it from paying attention. It does have like a little bit of like a dry, very, very, very faint peppery kind of a taste. The finish is very clean. There's no lingering like malty, you know, starchy aftertaste. Certainly nothing hoppy. Yeah, so very, very much like an English ESB. There is like a really, really subtle Belgian thing going on here. So even though it's a little old, it still tastes pretty good. So let's see how it compares to the actual guidelines. Flavor has an initial soft, smooth, moderately malty flavor with a variable profile of toasty, biscuity, nutty, light caramel, and or honey notes. That's a lot of things there, but yeah, I would agree. Toasty, biscuity, light caramel, and a little bit of honey, but I think it's more from oxidation. Moderate to moderately high fruitiness, sometimes orange or pear-like. True, I'd probably say it's about moderately low. Relatively light, medium low to low, spicy herbal or floral hop character. Yeah, they say it can be low, so I agree with that. Yeah, it's low. The hop bitterness is medium high to medium low and optionally enhanced by low to very low amounts of peppery phenols. I would say the hop bitterness is closer to straight low, and I'm really not getting any phenols at all. There's a dry to balanced finish with hops becoming more pronounced in the aftertaste of those with a drier finish. There's kind of redundant sentence there. Yeah, I would say dry, yes. I'd say clean is a more apt description. Fairly well balanced overall with no single component being high in intensity. I agree with that, although malt and fruitiness are more forward initially with supporting bitterness and drying character coming on later. All right, so I agree with absolutely everything they just said there. So I think if this was fresh, it'd be a 20. With some age on it, still tastes pretty good, and it's still within the guidelines. So I'm going to say, you might think this is high, but I'm going to say 17. Mouthfeel, what's going on here? Again, kind of like a British pub beer. It's probably about medium body, medium low carbonation. It's very smooth. It's a little bit refreshing. I don't know if I'd say it's like super thirst quenching, but yeah, it's really, really, you know, easy to drink. 5.2, a little bit high to session, but you know, you're not going to have any trouble throwing back a bottle really quick and easily. So nice drinkability on it. Pretty comfortable mouthfeel. Specs on that. Medium to medium light body. True. Smooth palate. True. Alcohol level is restrained. And any warming character should be low if present. I don't know why you would get alcohol in such a low alcohol beer anyways. Medium to medium high carbonation. Well, I don't know. I mean, I guess medium, but to me it seems more like closer to a medium low. But yeah, all flaws aside, it's pretty much it right there. So I'm gonna go 4 out of 5 on mouthfeel. Overall impression, I think this is more of like a, I think this particular bottle is like an 8. Well, that's still a total score of 42. So do I bring everything down, or do I just, I'm just gonna bite the bullet and say 9 out of 10. 43 out of 50 for Palm. You want a solid Belgian pale ale, check this one out. See if you can find it in cans. I don't know if they can it, but if this was in cans, it'd be awesome. All right, so thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Cheers.
Somebody brewed it, Chad just reviewed it. Thanks for watching Chad's Beer Review. Trust me, the next episode will be a lot better.